It is the worst start to the season for Real Madrid since 2008. They find themselves 8 points off the pace of Barca at the top of La Liga. Sid Lowe with us. Sid, what's going wrong?
Well, let's start with Zidane's version of events, shall we? Zidane has said after almost every game in which they've dropped points, I'm very happy with how we've played. I can't reproach the players anything. We created lots of chances. The ball just doesn't want to go in. Now, he then said after one game not so long ago, he said, you know, I've been happy with all of these games, except perhaps the Girona game. But then if you go back and listen to what he said after the Girona game, he said exactly the same thing then as well. Look, it's true what he says, that you can go through each of these matches, apart from Girona away, and say Madrid probably should have won the game. Madrid probably created enough chances, even maybe half chances, to have won the game. And it's true that they're missing those opportunities and the ball isn't going in. But I think that the fact that this is repeating itself, this thing is going over and over again, and I also think if you look at the games, there's more to it than that. They're not as fluid as they were. They don't have quite the same ideas. Admittedly, I think for a lot of last season, they weren't always that fluid either. They're quite basic in what they do. For example, this weekend against Athletic Bilbao, they go away to San Mamés and they put 31 crosses into the box. Now, if there's one thing that Athletic Bilbao know how to do, it's stand there and head the ball away. And yet Real Madrid kept on doing this. And I think at times there's a lack of imagination, a lack of clarity in what they do. And they're just not playing that well. But I also, for what it's worth, think Zidane's right up to a point in that they're not that far away from being a very good side.
I feel like we've been here for a while now, Sid.
Exactly. Exactly, this is why.
Just a couple of days ago, you look at the quality of the players on the pitch, and most of them were playing in that Champions League final where they were brilliant. Absolutely swept aside Juventus. Yet they look nothing like that side throughout the last few weeks in La Liga. We're waiting for that spark, waiting for them to turn up, waiting to thrash someone, and it just isn't happening.
And that's exactly why, Dan, as you say, we've been having this conversation again and again. This is exactly why, while you can take each game and listen to Zidane and say, you're right, the ball's just not going in. But because this is being repeated, there is more to it than that. There's a lack of speed about the way they move the ball. Kroos and Modric haven't looked quite as fit as in previous years. Isco, I think, is having to come too deep to do too much. I think Cristiano Ronaldo's form, which was questionable for a lot of last season, but those last 3 months he was fantastic. He hasn't refound that yet. Obviously, you've got Gareth Bale injured. I think there's a lack of speed through the team as well. I think there's a lack of pace. There's a lack of incision in what they're doing. And there's just something about it which is kind of not quite there. But then, as you say, look at the players. Look at who was there last year. Look at what they did last year. And you can't help feeling this isn't going to take very much for things to start falling back into place again.